Hello everyone. In this series, we'll build some interactive dashboards using R programming. The libraries that we'll be using are Shiny and Shiny Dashboard. We'll also use other libraries like Plotly, dplyr, and so on. We'll go through six programs, six examples, starting from the most basic, which is this one, to a complete dashboard. Okay, so let's get started. This is the first program. I'll first run this so that you'll get an idea of how this basic dashboard looks like. So this is like a hello world program for this particular dashboard scenario. Okay. So when I run this, this is the dashboard I get. This is called as a title bar. The title is my first dashboard. This is the body. Body says welcome to your dashboard. Hello guest, ready to build a BI dashboard. And there is a sidebar which is normally hidden, but you can click on the hamburger menu. If you open it in maximized form, okay, so I can close it over here. If you open it in maximized form, then sidebar is visible by default. Okay, and this is reactive. So depending on your screen, whether you're opening it on a mobile device or whether you're opening on a wider screen, it gets adjusted automatically. So we'll study all those concepts in the upcoming examples. So let's focus on the basic example. I'll open both the code and the dashboard side by side. Okay, so this is the code and this is the output. Let's go to the code. First thing, just like in other languages, you include or import libraries. In R, when you want to use some library, you use the library function. So library, and in bracket, you write the name of the library. So we are using the Shiny library and Shiny dashboard library. Then we are creating variables. So the name of the variable over here is UI, and we are assigning something to that variable. Now, what are we assigning? Firstly, we are using this assignment operator. In R, there are three types of assignment operators. This is the assignment operator that points towards the right. It looks like an arrow, right? Less than and hyphen looks like an arrow. So, rightward assignment operator. And what we are assigning over here is the output of this entire function, which is called as dashboard page. So dashboard page, there are different functions. Here we are using dashboard page. Dashboard page function will create a UI for us. Okay. So inside the UI, as I had shown you, there are three parts. First is the title. To create this title, we'll use a function called as dashboard header and we'll pass the title equal to my first dashboard. Okay. Second part is the dashboard sidebar. As we had seen, you click on the hamburger menu and you get the sidebar. So dashboard sidebar, it contains a text input. So this particular text input box is created using the function text input. Okay. Now the internal ID. Now we'll have to access whatever the user types in this text input box, right? So the server has to access this. So for that, we need to assign certain internal IDs to different input and output fields. So in this case, this particular text input field has the internal ID name. The label of this text input field is your name and the default contents are guest. Okay. Now the dashboard body, as we had seen, dashboard body contains this static fixed string welcome to your dashboard, which is in big font. So that is H1, the biggest heading. There are a series of headings. You must be aware of this concept, which is used. You must have used Word or any other software which has this hierarchy of headings. So H1 is the largest heading, H2, H3 are all smaller. Okay. So H1, welcome to your dashboard. That's a static fixed string. Then you have H3, text output. So now this is a dynamic field. Okay. Text output. What will be the contents of the text output? We don't know at this point. So text output, I'm only assigning the ID to this output field and the ID of this output field is greeting. What will be populated in this output field called greeting? We'll see in the server. Okay. So server is this function. Okay. We have created a function using the function keyword. This function takes three parameters: input, output, session. Okay. So server function takes three things: input. What is input? Basically, input is like, think of input like a broad object or broad big thing, or let's say input is the broad thing which covers different types of input. In this simple program, we only have one input and one output. So input will only contain one particular input, that is text input, and output will contain only one output, that is text output. Okay. But in general, if you have created 10 different input fields and 5 different output fields in your program, all those 10 input fields will come under the broad variable or broad structure, broad thing called as input. Okay. And all the 5 output fields will come under this broad thing called as output. Okay. So input covers everything. Now, session, we are not creating any session over here, but if you create something like a user login, if you are customizing the output, if you are storing some session information about the user, then we need the session variable. Okay. So we are not creating any of that in any of our examples, but it has to be mentioned. So session. Okay. Now inside the server, what we are doing is output dollar greeting. That means output is this broad thing which covers all the output fields, but we are focusing or we want to specifically target or populate in this case the output field with the internal ID greeting. So output dollar greeting, right? So greeting field we are trying to populate. This is the text output field. And what text we are rendering over here? Paste. Paste is used to concatenate different strings together. So what are we concatenating? Hello, input dollar name again. So in this broad input thing, there is one field, input field with the internal ID name. So input dollar name, and then ready to build a BI dashboard is again concatenated. So hello and ready to build a BI dashboard, those things are concatenated with whatever the user types in the text input field with the internal ID name. Okay. Finally, we launch this app using this command, that is shiny app UI comma server. Okay. Now, if I type anything as I type, okay, so for example, while I'm typing my name, this automatically gets updated in the dashboard. I don't have to press enter or anything. It's reactive. Okay. So, whatever changes I do over here immediately reflect in the body. Whatever changes I do in the text input field immediately reflect in the text output field. Okay. So, it's reactive. So, that's it for the first demo program. Simple dashboard. If you have any questions, any doubts, do post them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.